So for the first year, we had more of an audience on YouTube. It took a year and a half or maybe even longer for it to flip and for us to have the majority of our audience listening to the audio version. So I got all the benefit of YouTube, and YouTube put 4,000 opt-ins into our email list over the course of about a year and a half to 2 years for free because our episodes were streaming live to YouTube. And so we got the searchability, we got the discoverability. Our videos were coming up and recommended, videos for other people in our space. So we got all the benefits of both. Now, that no longer exists. So it's a different game today. You can't take your full 45-minute podcast video interview on YouTube and expect it to get the traction it did 5 years ago. Even Rogan himself, I mean, I think they get more traction on YouTube with their clips than they do with the full episodes, right? And obviously Joe Rogan's such a huge name that it's even hard to quantify. Like, just because he does something doesn't mean it's good. He's got enough audience there where just about anything he does looks good because he's got that many followers. So it's hard to really take examples from him.
Yeah, so in a scientific sense, he's like a data point that you almost need to like ignore when looking at what analytics say. Yeah.
Yes, it's like if you're a musician and you look at the Dave Matthews Band and go, great, I need unbelievable musicians and 15-minute long songs. Like, no, that's not going to work for most people. They are the outlier that proves the rules. You probably need a 3-minute song and everything can be built on a computer. It's hard to look at like super outlying examples like Rogan and take some lessons away. So anyway, so YouTube versus podcasting. So right now, if you are comfortable on camera, I think what you should do is have a podcast where you have conversations with people that are going to produce these really interesting insights and ideas. Then go turn around and do a piggyback video where you spend 5 to 10 minutes talking about and expanding on whatever interesting idea came out of that conversation. And then you go, great, if you liked that, go check out the rest of the conversation on the audio podcast. And it's the show, and the show has different forms of content, right? Depending on whether it's long form or short form. Keep the short form stuff on YouTube, where the average watch time is going to be super low anyway. Take the long form content, keep it on the audio side. That way it doesn't ruin your YouTube analytics, basically, right? So for your YouTube channel, for example, you might want to think about pulling back the full video interviews and making them either unlisted or private and only available on your website. Take clips out, put them on YouTube, or do those piggyback videos like we talked about. Because essentially, if you look at the back end of a YouTube channel and you go, okay, I'm publishing 50-minute interview videos, and you look at your watch time and the average is 12 minutes, YouTube is looking at that going, that's not a very popular video. People didn't watch 80 or 90% of it. Like they're just not accounting for long form podcast videos. Now, maybe that'll change, but at least for now, YouTube dings you in the algorithm. And so it makes it harder for you to build a channel if YouTube is dinging you going, yeah, that video wasn't very compelling. People bailed 10% of the way in. So these days, it's a little bit different than when I started, and my advice would be different. But for all of our clients, like our podcast agency clients, about half of them do video, and we publish them in various forms, whether it's clips mostly, and then we typically keep the full videos unlisted, available on their website. People can send out individual links and they can get to the video, but we don't encourage people to go to their YouTube channel and play a full video knowing they're going to bail in 10 minutes.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's almost like, going back to the whole like Joe Rogan argument, where it's like he can break the rules because he doesn't have to necessarily play by them because of how big he is. And maybe you can do the same thing once you get a certain size, right? But in order for you to grow to that size, you need to play by the rules to eventually later down the road kind of break the rules, right?